Hey friend, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you 10 different style of leaves in watercolor. So we're going to be painting everything from rosemary and cilantro, some herby vibes, herbs, some rose leaves with texture, peony leaves, mapley leaves, not really mapley leaves. I don't know why I said that, but they're red, so they're pretty. But 10 different style of leaves, and it's gonna help you kind of get creative, think outside of the box with your floral pieces so you're not just painting the same type of leaf over and over again. So if you're ready to learn these 10 different types of leaves in loose watercolor, let's dive in. Okay, so when you're painting loose floral pieces, a lot of people kind of get stuck with painting the same type of leaf over and over again. So I'm gonna show you 10 different types of leaves that you should have in your back pocket for, any type of piece, a wildflower piece, a non-wildflower piece, a, juicy, big floral peony bouquet, whatever. So I'm going to start with a leaf that I paint all the time. I refer to this as just a garden leaf. It's like just your basic loose leaf, not attached to a specific flower. But for this leaf, I am using a vertical hold with my size 6 brush for the stem of the leaf, so thin to no pressure on the stem. And then I'm going to almost not completely flatten my brush, but about a 45-degree hold on my brush away from the paper and put pressure so that the hair of the brush fans out and drag it. And as I'm dragging that stroke, I'm gradually releasing pressure so it goes back to the tip, the thin point of the round brush. That's why I love round brushes so much, because you can get a thick stroke with pressure, and then as you release that, you get a thin stroke. So again, not sure what this is called. We're calling it a garden leaf. These are loose style paintings that I am showing you these leaves for, so we're not exact. We have a leaf series that will help you with that leaf a lot if you need more practice on that one. But then let's do like a silver dollar eucalyptus. So I'm going to mix up sap green with some Prussian blue, some manganese blue, and a touch of Mars black for like a smoky eucalyptus color. Maybe some more of this manganese blue color. And lighten it a ton. So I'm just going to grab water and just a touch of it. And we're going to do these teardrop shapes. And they're super light. I'm just having a point that's going to go back to where the stem will be. Maybe this leaf is falling this way. But with everything we paint with these leaves, we want to make sure that our leaf is pointing back to where the stem will be. So our main stem is going to be pulling out of the bottom of this top leaf that I painted. I'm going to use burnt umber and a touch of Mars black for my stem. And I'm just going to use the tip of my brush with little to no pressure and bring that down here. And I love the bleed into the blue-green, so I would keep that. Then after I painted my stem and a few leaves, I'm going to fill this out a little bit more. So add some leaves here. And once that dries, we will go back and add some detail to that, but we're ready to move on. But for your leaves on any stem that you're painting or any type of leaf that you're painting, you want to have depth and variety. You don't want to have the same exact hue, which is the color, or the same exact value, which is the lightness or darkness of a color. So we've got some darker blue-greens, we've got some lighter blue-greens. Some of them have more of like a yellowy brown tint to them. That's creating depth of field for our loose style leaves. Next, I'm going to paint just these little baby leaves. I don't know what we're calling them. Again, this is loose style painting, so filler baby leaves. So I'm just going to like poke things around. And again, adding depth by slightly changing the hue. So we've got yellow green, dark green, light green. And we're just kind of floating around in clusters. These leaves are really great for accenting and framing big flowers, just adding little, just kind of like floating music notes around a flower. Kind of looks like a baby tree, but we're just practicing this stroke of just kind of dotting on our page. And not overthinking placement, but just kind of giving it a really thick, luscious, dense vibe. Next, I'm going to paint a 2-layer leaf. So we're going to wait for this base layer of the leaf to dry. And then we're going to add detail on top, but I'm going to basically paint this style of leaf. So add pressure, gradually release the pressure. We're starting with a really light greenish blue layer. Once that dries, we'll go back on top of these leaves and add some vein detail to them. Next, I'm going to paint a rose leaf. So a rose leaf is a bit of a darker green sometimes, and it has that textured edge to it. So I'm going to paint this style of leaf, but I'm going to add texture to it. So we've got our stem, pressure, and release, and then I'm just going to kind of flick out this texture around the leaf, or you can do the side of your brush instead of the direction your leaf is pointing the handle of your brush. You can use the side of your brush, and that texture on the right side is kind of already built in for you. So side and pull, or you can flick out the edges like so. Rose leaf. Next, let's do a folded leaf or a long tulip leaf, kind of twisting in the wind. Just like the first leaf we painted, it's going to have pressure and release of pressure to get thin, but we're going to go for a little bit longer. So I'm going to start thin with the vertical hold, apply pressure, kind of curve around, and then release pressure, but don't lift off, and then come back down again. So it's got like a little bend in the leaf. Pressure, release. Now let's do some rosemary. We're just gonna be doing a V shape all the way up this invisible stem. Making sure we're not using the same hue and value of green for everything. I'm just placing my brush down. This might be thyme. Rosemary is usually a little bit longer. So maybe we'll do rosemary next. Thyme spraggies are a bit shorter. Some herbs are really good to practice. Getting that really quick flick stroke down these teardrop shapes. Let's do cilantro, because why not? So this is a kind of diamond shape, fluffy leaf. So I'm just laying down my brush and pointing each stroke back to where the stem would be. And they're pretty jagged, so get loose and playful with these strokes for our cilantro. You might be saying, well, I never paint cilantro in my floral pieces. This stroke is still really good to use, like if you're painting in some negative space. For white flowers, this is the same style of stroke that I use, which I have a white flower tutorial you can check out. And I've got this green stem. Cilantro. Next, I'm going to paint a peony leaf. I'm going to do a trio situation. Where we got our stem. And these leaves are kind of more like oval shaped. So I'm gonna apply pressure and curve in instead of coming to a point and dragging that point out like these leaves. So start at the same spot and end at the same spot. Curving in. And then doing the same thing for this leaf. Pressure, it's kind of like parentheses. This little puddle at the tip of my leaf is going to leave hard lines, so I'm soaking it up with a dry brush. Cutie little peony leaves. And let's do another longer jagged leaf. maybe more of a reddish, burnt red color. Some Scarlet Lake, Prussian blue, or burnt umber, not Prussian blue, and Mars black. So I'm going to start with my stem. Get really wide, kind of an eyeball shape. Fill that in. And then we're just going to use the side of the brush and create these like waves on the outside. Dragging in a thin, darker line, that red, burnt umber, and Mars black mixture, and maybe on the outer edge of this lighter leaf too. For all of these leaves, we're making sure to focus on being really simple and not trying to overdo something, a movement, but just always remembering the basic shape of whatever leaf we're trying to paint. So for this one, it's that eye drop, or that eye shape, or that almond shape. This one we have a long oval. These are teardrops, but we're just basically placing our brush down on the paper. For this one, we're adding pressure, releasing pressure, and then pressure again, but it's just creating that wave shape, kind of flapping in the breeze. We've got circles, so it's really simple if you break it down into basic shapes. And then I'm going to come back up to this leaf here and add like a dark reddish brown, Scarlet Lake, burnt umber, and Mars black. I'm just going to pull out really thin, just using the tip of my brush. Fun way to add some detail to your leaf. If you want that extra detail, just wait for your base layer to dry. Nothing fancy. Then I'm also going to do like a dark green detail on this peony with my size 2 brush. Just a slightly different look, more contrast. And there you go, 10 easy watercolor leaves to add to your floral pieces to create more of a different flair than, getting stuck on one type of leaf. So add these into your paintings, have fun with it, mix it up, and I hope that was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments below which of the 10 leaves was your favorite to paint, or which of the 10 leaves was the most challenging for you to paint. This helps us inform what to teach next in our next tutorials, in our next videos. So make sure you comment, drop a comment below in the comments, and then also subscribe and turn on notifications for this YouTube channel so you don't miss a beat, don't miss a future tutorial or a future opportunity to let us know in the comments what you're still struggling with or what you would like to see from this channel. Learn from us, from me. I don't know why I refer to myself as multiple people. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.